What is happening, everybody? Adam Houchins with CrippleCast here. I have Collin Sallee in the studio today. Crazy bastard. So, say hello, Collin.
Hello, everybody.
All right. I'm going to do a sponsorship shout-out real quick, and then we're going to get straight to the episode. So, first things first, we have Made with Love and a few F-bombs. That's Tara. She's one of my caregivers. She has a company where she makes front porch stuff. It's totally cute. Totally cute. So, if you need something for your front porch, hit her up on the internet. She makes all kinds of crazy shit. So, anyway, Amber Manor Care Center. As I've said before, not a bad place to die. So, you know, it's you know, they got assisted living facility as well as rehab and other things that they can offer. They're not just a place to go to die, but they're a great place if you need to go to have some rehab and some other things. I got Custom Mechanical Construction out of Evansville, Indiana. They are great people. Kevin and Carl have done a lot for me since my accident. They are a commercial construction company and can take care of your needs if you have a business. I have Atlas Labs with Chris Rowe. Chris Rowe has a 3D printing lab here in Petersburg, and he does some wild shit. He also has a drone, and they do whatever drone people do. You know, whatever that is.
Whatever drone people do.
Yeah, drone people.
I love that.
Yeah. So, you know, they fly things and, you know, whatnot. Anyway, I also have Brainstrap Genetics out of Moffat, Colorado. Matt Aldridge runs a genetic seed line that is pretty freaking cool. So he is available in all 50 states. So if marijuana is not legal in your area, you can still buy these seeds. It's only illegal to cultivate. All right. Anyway, back on track here. We have Collin Sallee in the studio today. Holy crap, man. I have been waiting for this for a long time. I've referenced you multiple times in my podcast, so everybody can, you know, hear the story now. So, Collin, I'm going to let you go ahead and tell. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and let you tell your story as you see it from your point of view. Now, I have an opposing point of view because I was on the job site when this happened, and not opposing, but it was freaking wild when you got hurt. You got hurt at Toyota Manufacturing in Princeton, Indiana, and nothing bad about that. This was an accident, but go ahead and tell me your story. Go ahead and tell the people your story.
Well, I was a structural iron worker, and you know, it was just another day at the job, and you know, there was some unfortunate things that, you know, people had missed or not seen or whatever it was, and you know, I was doing a connection, and things went haywire, and essentially I ended up falling, and I broke my back, T4, T3, T4, completely ruptured T7. Actually, when I went...
Just shattered it?
Just shattered. It was a compression. Yeah. I landed straight on my butt from 40 feet.
And did that steel fall on you?
No.
Okay, now that's a misconception that I've heard. Now, let me take a quick step back. When you say you're doing a connection, was there you were making a corner connection?
Well, I can't speak too in detail on that.
No, but okay, I understand
tell the story.
I understand. But okay, so I can speak on that. What I can say is what I heard happened, and you can say, no, that's not what happened.
Fair
so
enough.
I heard, being a construction worker myself, that you were doing a corner connection. You had a hot bolt in one side. You were bringing another beam in, and the beam hit the other beam. You were connected to the beam. It sucked you to the ground.
That's pretty close.
Okay, so we won't go into anything else, like whose fault, this and that. But the fact of the matter is you got sucked to the ground by a piece of steel, and you landed straight on your butt. Continue.
Yeah, landed on my butt.
Because there's people that I worked with that we all kind of was like, wow, the fuck did that happen? So I've told her, like, hey, you can interview that guy. I was like, yeah, I'm a friend of the guy now.
Yeah.
But I remember being on the job site and hearing that there was a death.
Yeah.
And that was the first thing that happened. It was.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Well, you heard that too?
Yeah.
You're the fucking guy.
Man, learn things about yourself you don't know. But
shut up, Sweetwater Sound. I got people calling me from.
Hey.
Well, it's not Neuralink. That's the one I want to answer.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you know, when I got to the hospital and they did all the imaging, the doctor said that it literally looked like I had just gotten shot and directly in my T7 vertebrae.
Oh, wow.
There was no like recognizable.
You're not
pieces
even black.
I know, right?
Right.
And so
no, that's just to say there is a common thing that I've seen among spinal cord injury patients that, and I'm not being a racist. I'm just saying the people that are black, they like to say, "Hey, I got shot."
Yeah, that's.
They like to tell them. I was like, so if you see a black guy with a spinal cord injury, it's 50-50.
Yeah.
You know, it's I'll be honest with you, and you know I've said this to my black friends in wheelchairs, and they're not offended by this, so don't fucking cancel me, fucking assholes. Anyway,
so it was pretty much just total chaos in my back, and you know, we made it through, and a couple broken ribs and a couple
could
fractures.
you move your hands immediately?
Yeah.
Right, so when you got hurt, you could still function your upper body.
Yeah. It was there was never an issue with the upper body.
That's awesome.
I was right. You know, it's like from the nipples down is my injury, and so luckily, you know, T3, T4 actually, some individuals with that injury actually have weakening or nerve issues in their upper body and hands, and
you're lucky.
I got lucky.
That's good.
Like I got so lucky because I've just had the easiest transition. I've had no medical issues, no problems.
That's great.
Everything's been
honestly,
smooth.
like if in the whole swing of my injury, I'm chest down as well, but my that's why I'm quad for people. You know, I'm just informational purpose. I'm telling people, my hands don't work, so I'm a quad. I have disability in all 4 limbs, so technically I'm a tetraplegic is what they call it. I don't. What's different than a quad and a tetraplegic?
Well, I don't know. Tetra's 3.
Yeah, so 3 limbs. I see.
Yeah,
I understand. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm kind of retarded, but
what?
I don't think you
what's
say that
5?
anymore. I think we can say that though.
What's 5? What if nothing works?
Well, I think they consider that a quadriplegic.
Okay.
I don't know. Hey, if somebody knows, let us know. I mean,
what happens if your third leg quits working all the way?
Yeah, we're just cripples. We don't know the right answers to these things. I'm just talking shit on the internet, calling it advocacy. So it's just the way it is. So anyway, you're in the hospital. What did they tell you at first? You're like, you're never going to walk again. Because they told me that.
Well, I told the doctor that straight up, which I knew, you know, on the job site, you know, it's like everyone rushes over and, you know, it was a crazy feeling, you know, and immediately my legs I just felt like I was elevated upside down. I felt like I was hanging by my feet, you know.
The same thing. I felt the same thing immediately.
Like this kind of wave and all the pain hits you, and then everyone was running over, and I was like, hey, so like, don't even freaking touch me. I'm laying there face down in the mud, you know, and
so you
I
laid
can't
there
even
face
see.
down?
Yeah, I was like all jacked.
Because you knew you were fucked up.
Yeah, and I was like, don't even touch me. Just call the ambulance, you know. And,
and as long as you could breathe, they had to leave you there.
I was good. And
because they'd touch you, man, they'd have fucked you up worse.
Yeah.
Because so what happened to me is they missed a bunch of fractures.
Yeah.
And so I had arm movement at first, no hand movement. My hands were dead immediately, and it's kind of fucked. And I was like, I knew exactly what happened when I broke my neck. So I was like, yeah, I'm paralyzed. Yeah. I broke my neck. You know, my brother and sister, whom were medical professionals, I knew they could take care of me, but I immediately had arms. I had like chicken wings.
Yeah.
And so over a week period of time, they had missed fractures in my T level, and they basically broke my neck worse. Yeah. And I lost all arm movement. So I was neck down for a month at least. Wow. So I drove with a straw in my mouth and everything. Yeah. And then I started getting arm back, and then this right arm didn't even come back till I came home. Yeah. I mean, I remember seeing you in the hospital, and I was. Did I have my hair dyed at that point? No, I don't think you did. I had gotten. I was like just going nuts. First of all, I was losing my fucking mind, but I was all positive, you know. Yeah. And I had a friend of mine come over, and she dyed my hair burgundy in the hospital. Oh. Yeah, I remember you telling me. I was there. And I did a Fu Manchu. I think I was there like a day or two before that, because I remember you telling me like someone was coming to do that. Yeah, and my wife was like, "Oh yeah, it's fine." Little did I know, she wasn't gonna stick. She didn't care. Yeah, she gave a fuck. Yeah. But that's okay. Yeah. That's another story for another time. Yeah. However, back to what you were talking about. Yeah. So you in the hospital. Yep. You're at Fraser at this point, or are you at the Louisville, or where are you at this point? Deaconess? I spent 5 days in Evansville at Deaconess Midtown. No. Really? St. Vincent. Okay. See, and they took me to Deaconess because they have the trauma center. Yeah. And I'm surprised they took you to St. Vincent. Yeah, St. Vincent. I'm lucky. Okay. I mean, I had really good care there, and one of the best ortho doctors that you could get. Oh yeah. So, incredible experience. Yeah. And do you want to give him a shout out?
Yeah, Dr. Gable. He's the guy.
Hey, he's my doctor. Yeah,
Yeah.
Dr. Gable.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. He lived down the road from me when I lived in Newburgh.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this giant ass mansion that got abandoned a few years ago. Somebody moved out of it, and it had been sitting idle the whole time I lived at my in-laws' house. And as I was moving out, somebody else bought it, and it turned out to be Dr. Gable.
Oh, yeah, he's a good guy. He's a good surgeon.
You know, I'd like to get him on the podcast, and he said a long time ago that he would, but I haven't seen him over a year.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll next time you're in town, I'll see if I can get him in here.
Yeah.
Talk to both of us.
Yeah.
Be great.
That would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a swell guy. So go ahead, Dr. Gable.
Yeah.
And now back to one more thing about Dr. Gable. Nobody wanted to do my surgery because it was risky. I have titanium. I'm fused from C3 to T3, and that was something that all kinds of doctors were like, nah, I'm not touching.
Right.
And so he's like, I'm going to give this guy a chance to live the best life he can. And so shout out Dr. Gable. He's a lifesaver, both of us.
Absolutely.
So that's great. So yeah, all right, Dr. Gable, go ahead.
Yeah, so I think he spent about 8 hours prying around on me to get me all lined back out. Got me some fresh titanium rods too, and so 5 days there, and then I got transferred over to Fraser in Louisville. I was there for a month of inpatient, and then I was there directly after that for another month of outpatient. I was staying in a hotel a couple blocks away, under the Crack Rock Bridge. And, it's gotten worse the last couple of years. I went to visit a buddy of mine in Fraser a while back, and in just a year's time since I've been there. Yeah. Holy shit. Yeah, it's kind of rough down there. We saw a lot of overdoses and stuff just going back and forth. You know, it's like 3 blocks, and it was crazy. Because you were right there. I mean, the Jewish hospital's right there too. Have you ever been in that place? I don't know if I have. It's an absolute shithole. We ran. Well, is it one of them that's connected by the bridge? Because when I was in there, man, I was so stir crazy. We would spend like all day. We would just take, because you can go to like 4 different blocks. And your fiance was with you the whole time? Yeah, for the most part. And they didn't want me to cross the street. Yeah, they don't think you're going to. So I would just I figured out the maze of the hospital, and I would just go up and down levels, and I'd cross each bridge, and we'd go walk around that block, and then we'd go eat at that cafeteria when we got tired of this cafeteria, or find a restaurant or food truck over there. So so you were all over. The Jewish hospital is so old. And my mom was in there for whatever reason a few years ago, and when she got transferred up there, and we got there like an hour later, and I said, "Good God, it looks like Hell's Pass Hospital in South Park." I was like, I wouldn't take my cat to get an abortion there. So I don't know. I was like, it's pretty rough, but it makes sense. Yeah. So it's an old hospital. But Fraser was good. Good. Yeah, I heard a lot of great things about Fraser. They kept wanting to put me in a standing, put me on the treadmill and do all the standing crap, and you're like, no, electro stuff, and I was like, I don't know. So it was like the first day, and they put all the electrodes on my back, and they started to shock me, and they didn't have good connections, and they're just like arcing off my back. Really, like the lightning going off your back. I was like, it stings every time. Yeah, I was like, I was like, you're gonna have to stop, because I don't like getting shocked, Mm-hmm. And I wasn't really convinced on the whole thing. Yeah, you had a rough go of things in our work about. And I've been shocked all the time. And I was like, I don't even care about this, and I was like, I don't even really want to do this. And they're like, well, we'll try again tomorrow. I was like, no. The next day, same thing. I started getting shocked again and again. Getting shitty about it. And I'm like, listen, we're not doing this anymore. Today's it. This is it. I'm done. Yeah. And finally, I had to convince them. I was like, I'm not going to walk. Like, the doctors told me I'm not going to walk. I know the diagnosis. I'm okay with that. I can survive without walking. But I was like, I need you to teach me how to live life and go on, Exactly. And it took me like a week. I had to get pretty shitty with the PTs down there. I kept my cool for a long time. And you know me now. Can you imagine me being a patient? Yeah. And I'm not mean to the nurses or anything. Right. I finally got irritated when they wouldn't tell me when I was going home. I said, I'm a 34-year-old man. I have a daughter. I have a wife. I need to know some things here. Yeah. If you don't think I'm capable of continuing therapy, or I'm not advanced enough to go to the second program,
you need to tell me now.
Yeah.
They told me 2 days before I went home.
Yeah.
I got a little shitty towards the end.
Yeah.
And I didn't mean to, but like when I was in the hospital in Evansville, I said all kinds of crazy stuff. It was awesome.
Oh,
Those people loved me.
Yeah.
But then a guy came. I don't know a guy that had worked at. I remember who told me this. They said whenever I go down to, maybe it was Ben Trockman. He said when you go to, you're gonna have to watch your mouth when you go down there to Shepherd. And I said, oh, that's gonna be rough.
Yeah.
And so I did watch my mouth, and I ended up doing good until about the last 2 weeks, and they were ready to get rid of me.
Yeah. Wow.
So I got locked down for COVID, but I wasn't even in direct contact with this guy. But they let my mom, super spreader Janet, run around the fucking hospital. And, but then she get to come and go from the room. Like, what the fuck kind of sense does that make?
Yeah.
And I said, I was like, if I was exposed to somebody, then she's exposed to me and she runs around the hospital.
Yeah.
What the fuck does that mean?
Right.
That's retarded. So, anyway, that was the only problem I had with Shepherd. But I understand that was their policy. Nope, everybody was trying to navigate the pandemic still. It was the second time came around when I was in the hospital.
Yeah.
So it was like, fuck.
Yeah, that sucks. I didn't do anything like that.
And I could only see that my daughter came, but the only place you could see, like, they might have changed this by now. I'm sure because I bitched about it quite a bit. Maybe they didn't give a shit, whatever. But I could only see my daughter through a metal fence.
What?
Yeah, like she came down there and they said, okay, COVID shut everything down, and they had like yellow tape up, and I ripped it down every time.
Yeah.
And I ripped it down, and I was like, I'm gonna see my kid. And they wouldn't let her come, like they put her over the fence, and like so I could hold her and shit. And it was stupid. Like she was there for 2 weeks, and they originally said she could come in, but then they said COVID happened, we can't have any extra people in here. So my mother-in-law couldn't come in.
Yeah.
My wife could come in, and my mom could come in, but they still stayed in the same room as my mother-in-law and my daughter. So it just didn't make any sense, and that's why I got irritated. I sent my daughter home, and then my wife followed a couple weeks later. So me and my mom stayed in Shepherd for another month.
Right.
So anyway, back on track. Sorry with your story. Saying about me, goddammit.
No, all was good. But yeah, I spent. Finally, I convinced him after about a week down there, and I was like, "Listen, I can deal with this, but you need to, teach me how to get around and how to deal with the life I've been given." And,
right.
And they did that. They came through. They realized what I was saying, and man, I had a great time down there. I had a great team. I became friends with a lot of them people, and they ended up getting like a hand cycle for me, and I rode all the way across the bridge over to Indiana.
Hey, awesome!
And and with some friends and riding bikes and stuff, and we'd go out to eat. Me and the OTs and
they wouldn't let me leave.
We'd go we went down to the Hard Rock, rolled all the way down to the Hard Rock on 4th Street.
And you were with other guys in wheelchairs?
No, it was just me and my fiance.
Oh, that's cool.
We was getting these private outings with the PTs and stuff
on
the weekends.
Cool. We went to the movies once.
It was pretty cool and a great team. And then I had access to the gym there, and I just tried to put my head down and grind it out for a couple months I could get home. So
yeah. Did you get homesick at all or anything? But your fiance was with you, so.
Yeah, my mom and fiance were down there most of the time pretty well. And I was just ready to be home. Yeah. But I was also in learning mode. I was just I'm going to try and learn everything I can and adapt.
Did they have, at Fraser, did they have classes that you go to teach you for example, you do a bout program. Yeah. And you calf every 4 hours or however long. Okay, so I'm the opposite. I have colostomy and super pubic. Right. So they taught you how to did they do classes to teach you how to do that kind of stuff, or was it just you did it, or did you just do it in the nurse setting where she come in your room and teach you how to do that kind of stuff?
It was mostly they were really good about one-on-one on that type of stuff. And they started out there and they had the calf kits and where you had to lube it up and put the iodine on you.
Oh yeah, the lengthiest process in the world.
It's and it was 2 weeks in, and I was like, this is ridiculous,
You're there's no way to live.
And I was like, and then you got to go in a urinal and all this, and I was like, this is crazy. They're like, well, we have really nice catheters, but we don't give those to people until we're discharging them because we don't want them to get an infection or anything. And I'm like, listen, I got to live with this for the rest of my life. I was like, I'll wash my hands, I'll wipe myself down. Just give me a freaking better catheter than this thing, you know? And they did.
And you can't feel it, but it's. Hey, look, you still feel it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's called dysreflexia.
Yeah.
And me personally, I feel dysreflexia in my head.
Oh, okay.
Like I feel it. It's a tingly feeling in my head, or my cheeks, basically right here. And I start getting a headache.
Yeah.
My blood pressure shoots up. So that is what, to me, like like anytime I have a kidney stone or I have a UTI or something, that's what starts it. And then I get spasms real bad too.
Right.
So my spasms are getting worse now. Did yours get any worse or better or?
Man, over probably the last 6 months, I've definitely noticed mine getting worse. But
what do you think that's the reason is for that?
Well, I think mine is, well, I say this last 6. I'm probably more like the last 3 months I've really noticed it. I noticed it a lot when I broke my femur.
Okay.
Which we'll talk about. But when I was really good until I broke my femur. And then after that, they started getting worse. And then like the last 3 months, I haven't been being as active. I haven't been playing pickleball.
That's what I think it is too.
Because I've been here working like 10, 12-hour days every day.
Yeah, we're going to get to that later.
Yeah, and we were in South Africa hunting. I was there for 2 weeks hunting, literally just sitting.
So you're not working out as much. You're not as active. You're not playing any adaptive sports.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's what it is for me is like I've been lazy about working out a little bit, and I think that it's standing in my chair.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably why mine are getting bad too. So.
Yeah, I'm like so ready to be back in Colorado. So because I got my brand new, like literally picked up my new tennis chair, pickleball chair in Dallas.
Is that like you call it a tennis chair? Do you play tennis in it, or
well,
do you
that's
play basketball?
It's designed for tennis, but
basketball.
It's lighter than a basketball chair.
Okay,
kind of a similar setup
because those probably are high or are made better so because you run into each other all the time.
Yeah, well, they're the same frame, same design, and everything. They just don't have a couple like protective features like the basketball chair.
Because you don't need them. Yeah.
Right, you're not running into people playing pickleball and tennis.
Oh, because you're playing pickleball with it, probably.
Yeah, that's my big thing, and I'm going to try to get into tennis, but it's.
Well, I'm going to strap some shit to my hand. I can still play.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Like my nephew plays tennis. So we have a pickleball court in his driveway. So I mean, all I got to do, but I'm gonna play ping pong with him. But I have to put a ping pong paddle on both sides of my hand. So then I can actually play. I mean, it's a handicap or whatever. Like if I beat him, I'm not really beating him. But, But I think like that. Like I can do other things. It's just I got limited use of my arms.
Have you seen the power chair soccer?
No.
It's pretty cool, man.
What, they hit it with their hands?
No, they got like this metal surround, and they zoom and you hit the ball with your chair, and I mean it's just like
that's awesome.
Normal soccer, but it's
I'd
all
love
from a
to
power
play.
chair. Yeah,
the power chair?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to do it.
And then there's quad rugby too.
Well, and I've seen that.
Yeah.
And they thought that it was going to be fun for me to watch that one time.
No.
And I was like, you don't understand. I don't like sports anyway. Like I'm not like into sports anyway. So watching wheelchair rugby was like,
that's a bummer. I mean, I think it's pretty.
Well,
cool.
Probably now I do.
Yeah.
But at the time, I didn't I'll watch that kind of stuff now. I think it's impressive now, knowing what I know. But at the time, I wasn't a big sports guy.
Right.
So I think it's cool what you do. So like, let's get back to that. So we because there's a lot of people that I've told that have asked me in Pike County, like, when am I going to have you on? When am I going to have you on? So definitely want to get you while you're in town.
Yeah.
So people do want to hear the whole story because if there's a misconception on a lot of things, like I said, like you got sucked to the ground by a piece of steel, and well, not that, but the steel fell on top of you is what I had heard.
Right.
And I was like, well, the legs look okay. But
no, I didn't have anything land on top of me.
Okay, good.
Fortunately.
So you let's back to Fraser. You finished up Fraser.
Yeah.
And by that time, you were basically where you are now. You can function your arms. You can function your hands. You can transfer.
Yeah.
You can do everything you need to do.
Yeah. Probably within the first week, I I had everything pretty well figured out.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah,
Because you were already strong enough.
lucky.
You were already strong enough to pick your own body up.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, coming from the ironworking background.
And you were also a avid sport. You were doing triathlons and shit. Like, come on, you were more active than most people. So
yeah, I was still in the bicycle racing stage and triathlons, and then, put the 100 pounds of tools, packing around that, hanging upside down and climbing all over all day, every day.
Yeah.
So I was definitely fit, and I was in good shape,
I had a guy that I worked with that usually claimed to know you. He was like, oh, I know that guy. Yeah. I ride bikes with him all the time. You probably don't know. I'm not going to say his name here, but I'll tell you later.
Okay.
But he was like, yeah, I know the guy. Like, okay, man.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of people out there that know me that I don't know them.
Yeah, and that's what I was wondering. I was like, you might know him. I was like, he's from my hometown. I don't know him. And I didn't at the time. But, I'll be curious after. I'll tell you.
All right.
But he's mostly full of shit if he's listening right now. Fuck you. Anyway, I don't really care. He knows who he is. But, basically, no, I'm serious. I don't like the guy. But, basically, you rode bikes before. You did running and you did swimming. You were a great swimmer in high school. Like,
yeah.
I was a swimmer in high school, and no, I wasn't like you by any means.
I wasn't great. I was just decent.
Fuck, you were better than. Did you go state?
I didn't go to state. No.
What was the highest you went to?
I mean, definitely regionals. I was with the top of the team.
Well, yeah, that's better than I ever got to. It's like farther than anybody else got from Pike Central.
I was okay. There was kids going to state.
From Pike Central?
Yeah.
Oh, well. Yeah. Shout out to those cats.
Yeah, Jake and Cheney.
Cheney.
Evan Marchanel. And,
okay.
If I missed anybody else. But, hey, there was some great swimmers.
There were some good swimmers. Yeah. I had some good swimmers when, Pierce Arnold was a big swimmer when I was in school.
Yes, I know that.
Very, very good. It's so funny. Have you met his brother?
I don't believe so.
His brother, fraternal twins, and they are fraternal. There is no doubt about it. They look nothing alike. So, anyway, I was in swimming with both of them once. Big guy, once little guy.
Yeah?
Yeah. So, anyway, you came home, and what did you do when you came home? You came back to Pike County?
Yeah, I was here for a while. A couple of years. And while you were here, what did you get involved in? What did you stay at home for a long period of time? I stayed at home for like I went out a little, went out when let people take me, but 8 months was about the time I got a job. I got a job at 8 months out, which is kind of unique for people that are, in our situation. Most of the time, you just don't get jobs again. Yeah.
And, but you, okay, I mean, we don't have to speak on this a lot, but obviously, I would if I was you. You sued the company or something like that happened, and they, you're not destitute, so you're fine. So that's basically the information people want to know. You're not destitute.
Yeah.
Can't probably reveal all that bullshit, but anyway, you're doing all right.
Yeah.
But people think that I got caught a settlement.
Yeah.
And you get women that sometimes are like, "Hey, what's up?" And I'm like, "I ain't got any money." Yeah. They're like, "Oh," and then they're like, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
So that's okay. You already had a girlfriend.
I did. Yeah.
It works out.
Super lucky. She stuck with me.
No
She's
joke.
still putting up with me. So
no shit. I don't know that I would have, but
yeah. I question it.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay, so you came home. And what did you first get involved in? What got you out of the house?
Well, I was super active, and I just had that super active mindset. And
it's hard to get because I was pretty positive, and I used humor to mask my insecurities, but that's how I had to be hyper positive.
Yeah, I mean, I was just naturally that way, and I knew it's kind of, I mean, people are like, oh, that's kind of made up, or, they don't believe that I was just truly, it was whatever. It wasn't a big deal.
You can't change anything. So.
I couldn't change it, and so I just dealt with it, and I think a huge influence was probably, shout out to Mick Hetman. We were great friends leading up to that. He was bringing me, he was cooking steaks and bringing them down to Louisville for dinner for me.
That's awesome. He was just here today. I saw him today.
I saw him before he came out.
Yeah.
And he would come pick me up from the house, and take me to his house, and I would go over there and we'd do photography, and he would run me, we would go to the reenactments and stuff.
Shout out to Mick Hetman. He, if anybody doesn't know the guy, toy maker, entrepreneur.
Great guy.
He's a great guy. He's into all kinds of crazy stuff. McHetman, look him up. He's a wild man.
Yeah.
He's a wild man. I've known since I was 5 years old.
Yeah?
Yeah. Crazy story. He went on a canoe trip with me
Yeah.
when I was 5 through the Boy Scouts. His father-in-law was a scoutmaster. Paul Pancake, great man. Rest in peace. But that was his father-in-law. And like, so his wife and he came on, and I knew when I was 5. And I remember he was a toy maker. And remember when we were kids, well, you were a little bit younger than me. When I was a kid, they had these racetracks that went on the fucking wall, and they were magnetized.
Yes.
Well, Mick made that one. Like, he invented that.
Yeah, he's
so
got some good
whenever he
stuff.
told me that, I was like, kid, I was like, no way, he's so cool.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, he's the coolest guy I've ever met. And I remembered that until I was like 18 or so, and I was like, that guy's probably lying to me.
Yeah.
He wasn't.
No.
He wasn't.
Yeah.
And I ran into him a few years later, and at the Buffalo Trace Festival, he took a picture of me while my band played.
Yep.
And that's how I reconnected with him. I was like, wait a minute, I remember you.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, you're not full of shit.
Yeah.
So he's not full of shit. He's awesome. So
I mean, I was super lucky to have good friends, like true, like wholehearted friends. And then I was also super lucky, I got hurt June 13th and early October, so I was in the hospital for 2 months.
Yeah.
So less than really 2 months after I got out of the hospital, I got into driving school. I had my own vehicle at that point.
So you had to go through Easter Seals to do that?
No, I did a whole deal down in Louisville.
Oh, okay, that's nice.
So
that's
it
nice.
wasn't the Easter Seals, and the lady that I had to drive with, it was like second nature to use my hand and drive. I was driving a manual truck when
so
I got
it
hurt.
worked out.
Coming from motocross and, and all that, it wasn't a big deal to use my hand to drive a vehicle, it's just kind of whatever, small adaptation. And
That's cool.
she was a biddy, man. She was tough to deal with, and she was like the traffic cop,
Oh, yeah.
Like, everything had to be perfect, and I was like, lady, like, I know how to drive. No, I don't remember her name, but...
I was going to make you say it.
I would, but I don't remember her name.
It's okay.
But, man, she was tough, but it was like the longest 3 days to get through
I guarantee it. It's like when I got my license.
Yeah. She
When I was
didn't
walking,
want me,
man.
she didn't want me to speed, or anything. When we're just driving around for like 8 hours, and she doesn't want me to
8 hours?
Yeah.
Driving around with that
that's
person that like irritating?
Yeah, it was terrible.
She would you play the radio?
I doubt it.
Fuck her.
Yeah, it was terrible.
She sounds like she sucks.
But I got it, and then after that, I was off to the races. I was like just out adventuring. I drove around a lot, and I had a Dodge 1500 that I got.
Yeah, that's something I want to bring up. Hey, this crazy bastard, he drives a fucking truck. I never seen anything like it. You should see this bastard climb out of it, first of all. Getting back in, it's another fucking story.
Oh, I don't even like driving that truck.
You drove it today.
I didn't. Yeah, that's what I have. I've got to pull my skid steer back to Colorado. So.
Yeah, he's got a skid steer on the back of it right now.
Yeah,
okay.
So I usually drive my Tacoma.
The fuck out of here.
And I've been on my I got my motorcycle here. I've been riding my motorcycle.
Okay, so when you're driving a motorcycle, are you on the motorcycle or are you in a sidecar?
Yeah, I'm on the motorcycle.
That's insane.
Yeah, we rode up to.
How do you? Well, I guess your balance must be good then.
Yeah,
like,
obviously, I have decent balance. So.
Because because I haven't been working out. My core's not as strong.
Yeah.
So I keep these laterals on.
Yeah.
But I could be in a manual chair, but man, it's going to destroy my shoulders so quick.
Right.
And so I want one.
Yeah,
But I'm afraid I'm going to fuck up my shoulders.
Yeah.
I want one. Have you seen those? Maybe I can get them here, but maybe I can't. I don't think I can. Trucknetic. It's a wheelchair company in Europe.
Is that the really small power chair?
Yeah, it's a manual / power chair.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know if you can get them here, but I'm gonna have a guy build me one.
Yeah.
I want a guy to build me one out of like a titanium frame, and that it's just it looks like a high chair seat almost that you're sitting in, and it's like just a bucket seat, and you're like, well, it's like those handicap swings.
Right.
Like they look just like it, but it's just like a bucket seat, and then they're pretty cool. They have like 3 wheels on them.
Yeah.
I want one, but I don't think I can buy one here.
I don't know.
If I can, I'm just gonna have somebody make one for us.
Right. There you go.
Yeah. Well, and I got luckily being welders as we were, I could probably still weld, but I'm not building my own chair.
Oh come on! I want to build my own.
Well, I mean we can. I mean, I could build my own. I mean, I'd probably, if somebody tacks it up for me, I could weld it. Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe.
But
I
can't weld titanium. Yeah, I can't weld titanium.
I got a TIG machine.
We could do. I could. No, I probably couldn't do aluminum anymore because it's a TIG. I'd have to run TIG.
You can get a finger, but you don't have.
I don't figure out if I had a bite switch.
Well, you could. It would be easy to convert.
If I get a bite switch, yeah.
You got a lot of technical people around here.
Yeah.
I think you could figure it out.
Hey, surprisingly
it's just
enough,
a potentiometer.
Okay, yeah. What I'm looking for is a. So I can use power tools again. I'm looking for a variable speed bite switch.
Yeah.
Because you squeeze the trigger. That's a variable speed trigger.
Yeah.
So I want a variable speed bite switch so I can run an impact or a drill. I can strap one to my hand.
You can just mount it like right here and just like right here, and you're like just drive into whatever you're doing.
Exactly. Dude, I love that's the goal. Like I got the 3D printer and shit. The goal is to build shit like that so we can still use it.
Sure.
And right now I'm building toys and cool shit because it's a lot of fun. Yeah. But the goal is to build adaptive eating utensils. I got a hand band that's gonna be just like this for people that don't use their hands. So it'll have a stylus attached to it, and it'll have a hook that I can roll around and extend out so I can grab shit off the counters. And it's gonna have a little port right here that I have all my my silverware and everything, so I can plug right in there and I can just eat.
There you go.
So then I don't have to. It's gonna be like basically like a taco looking thing that goes over top of a handband because your hand sweats. So I don't want it to be plastic. So when I give them away to people, I'm not gonna sell these things. I don't want to make any money on cripples.
Yeah.
So if I design one and I come out with it, hold me to that. I don't want to sell it to you. I just want to shipping's fine. But I don't want to make money on cripples. I want to design things like for the promotable chair or for your fucking chair. Like what do you need? A cup holder on there? I can make you one. But
yeah, I've been thinking about that.
I can make you. We'll look at it here after a while. I'll print you one before you leave. Because I know whatever chair that is, I'll get you a cup holder on, no problem. Right. So it's pretty cool. By the time you leave here, I'll have you talked into buying one of these printers for sure.
Probably. I think I'm already convinced.
If you got hands, that's it. The problem I have with these is I can't do it myself. I have to have somebody load it up for me. I have to have somebody put all the pieces together. If it wasn't for that, I can sit here and I can print stuff. About getting things off the print bed.
We just need to get you a little robot. And then you can program the robot to do all the stuff for your hand.
The guy that has an office around the corner. Jake?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jake? Yeah. Jake Steiniger, shout out to Jake. He's an awesome guy. He's got a little robot. We're going to do some funny videos here coming up. And I know he can program that thing to take everything off the build plate.
Oh, yeah.
I know he can.
Oh, yeah.
He's got some wild robot in that room.
Yeah, you can just run that plate down, program it to just run down, and the robot just reaches
comes in, picks it up. Well, we're going to do a video of, I don't know how it's going to work, but we're going to do a video of that thing taking a shot glass off of there and pour me a shot.
Don't give your secrets away.
No, I won't. But hey, we can actually get this thing to pour a shot, like that thing to pour a shot in a shot glass for me, and then give it to me.
You could program it to pour a shot out of that bottle.
That's exactly what we're doing.
Oh, yeah. No problem.
Yeah, because his robots are at Toyota and stuff. So
he's pretty slick with it.
He's pretty slick. So, all right, back on track here. Sorry, everybody. You started doing adaptive sports. So tell me a little bit about that, and tell everybody every adaptive sport you tried.
Oh, I don't even know.
Oh, you come on. There's not that many fucking sports out there.
Well, the big ones are, I'm big into the up and coming pickleball scene now.
Pickleball, yeah.
I just played at the US
Open. Where pickleball got famous was prison.
In prison? It's a prison
sport. I'm not sure if that's accurate. I'm not sure if that's accurate, but
I don't know. It's a blast.
They play handball in prison.
Yeah,
that's exactly what they do. I mean, I've never been to prison, but
Me neither. I hope I don't have to go.
They're not going to take us to fucking jail.
Yeah, I know.
They'd have to come get up my van to take me to jail.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not shout out to the cops. They're awesome, but I'm waiting for my drug addiction until my 50s, so I can see which one kills me first: spinal cord injury or the drugs.
That's fair. That's fair.
So we'll see.
So pickleball right now is big and pretty big into adaptive mountain biking. I got myself a mountain bike.
Okay.
So I ride downhill out in Colorado.
All right.
Which is a blast.
That's cool.
This downhill skiing.
Oh yeah. All right. We're gonna get to that in a second. Now you also played hockey.
I helped start the sled hockey program down in Evansville.
In Evansville? Okay, I haven't. I thought it was in Indy.
No, so we got the sled dogs down in Evansville.
Shout out to the sled dogs in Evansville. Hell yeah.
So started out down there, and we just don't quite have the numbers yet. Still a young program.
Well, there's not that many cripples out there in Evansville. I mean, there are, but they don't know about it yet.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Awareness is not there.
Yeah. So it's been a slow growing program, but it's
if you're going to be in town for a couple weeks, maybe if you're going to be in town for a couple weeks.
I don't know. Maybe.
I haven't been in a while, and they're probably cussing me right now. But if you have time, I'll take you to in October. We may not have time. There's a support group in Evansville, and that's where there's going to be a lot of guys that might be interested in shit like that. Not that you give a shit now because you don't live here.
Oh, I don't like going to.
No, you're not going to go. Like all they do, like all they they talk about other things, and
I went to one in Grand Junction.
I don't like the sad parts, the sad shit that people talk about. I'm like,
well,
come on,
it's just like
a
downer. Like it's the one in Grand Junction in Colorado. It's like 30 minutes from me, and I met this guy at the store, and he's in a chair, and he's like, "Oh, come out," and I was like, "Okay, I'll come out." They have a really nice facility, like right on the Colorado River, like river access. They've got all this equipment. It's got this like concrete river path that's like 20 miles long, and it's ridiculously long. It's not 20 miles, but so I came out. I thought it would be like this super cool event, and we had shitty pizza,
and Little Caesars,
and it was all inside. Beautiful night out, like absolutely incredible. Could have went out and like done stuff outside, went down the river walk.
Yeah,
and instead we sat inside. And we played this. They set up this little obstacle course inside the office.
Gay.
Like it
Not
was.
Like
it was like
gay.
I felt like I was in kindergarten.
Yeah.
Like everybody there was capable of going outside and doing like something challenging, or like actually going on a roll down the river walk, or like playing disc golf because there's a disc golf course here. Like everyone would have been capable. Yeah. And we did everything inside. On a beautiful evening in Western Colorado, and I was just like,
silly.
I was like, but I mean, I got a $25 gift card to Qdoba or something for being the fastest to do the obstacle course,
for being the least shitty cripple.
It was just depressing, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, we don't do that shit at ours. We just they basically have a guest every time, and it's something that could benefit us. Like, we had like East Shields guy come out. We had a driving lady come out. Like there was other people. They wanted me to, like, they asked if I would do one eventually, and I'm like, I don't want to. But all right, we haven't talked about it in months. But I kind of just quit going.
Yeah.
And so nothing against them. It was just I got other shit going on.
Yeah.
But they it doesn't sound as shitty as what you got.
Yeah,
y'all need to do better out there with these adaptive things. I'm not trying to say that I'm setting anything up. I don't want that. That's not my cross to bear. But yeah.
I also helped do. I did road cycling and still do, and I helped with some adaptive rowing. And did some of that, and I do enjoy that.
That's cool.
And Nordic skiing, so cross country skiing.
All right. Now I want to hear about this. You were skiing. Where were you skiing at? In Colorado?
Yep, Colorado, Western Colorado.
This is nuts. This crazy fucker over here. I've never heard anything like this. So I want to. Yeah, he's got to tell the story.
Oh, it's nothing that special.
It's fucking insane. Right.
So it was Powderhorn, small local-owned ski resort, Western Colorado, just outside of Grand Junction. It's about 45 minutes from my house. I worked there. I ran the snowcat up there for a little bit. Anyways, I was...
Just because it was something to do?
Yeah, it was a dream job.
Oh, okay. You wanted to check it out. Okay, I got it.
It was a dream job. It was pretty sweet. But
they put hand controls in it and shit?
It's all ran by hands. I mean, just like most modern equipment. So
like a Zamboni or anything?
Well, it's a massive machine. It's what they groom the mountain with.
Yeah. So it's like... Okay, so if people don't know that, it just throws snow. Like, it's like have a shovel on it. Does it have like a auger?
It's got a huge blade. It's about 14 foot wide, 15 foot wide. I mean, these are 20,000 pound machines.
Yeah.
This is like a bulldozer for the side of the mountain. And it's got a huge tiller on the back.
Okay. That was what I wanted. That big
Tills all
auger
the
on back
snow
there.
up and then smooths it out, and that's what leaves the perfect corduroy on the mountain.
Yeah.
So anyways, I went skiing up there. It was opening weekend, and we had been to a couple different resorts already. We had incredible snow this past year, and got up there. The snow was great, and we were playing around. And I'll ski mediums and stuff on blue runs on the mountain, no problem. And I'll ski blacks if they're in decent shape. But Cassie likes this one run that is a green run from the top of the mountain down.
Now, green means it's like easy. Yeah,
it's the easiest run. But so it's not steep. It's the bunny slope, but it goes from the top of the mountain all the way down.
Have a rope that brings you back to the top.
No, it's a big run.
That's good.
But it's just switchbacks, and it's only like it's the width of the snowcat, so it's like 15 feet wide. And so I was like, I'll go down it with you, whatever. And there was all these little trails off the side. They call them little side hits. And we had done this run once with her, and I saw this one side hit when I went through, and I was like, oh, that looks fun. Like, I'm going to run it again, and I'm going to hit that side hit. And I was messing around. So we went back up, and I was coming down, and I was one switch back too soon, and there was this other side hit that I didn't realize what I was hitting. I thought I was at this other one. So I go off of it, and it looks like it just kind of goes up this gentle slope, and then like comes back down out onto the trail.
So
and
you thought you were taking an alternate route.
Yeah, well, I go up it, and I get to the top.
And all these signs say danger?
No, there's no signs.
Jesus Christ.
And it was like a 4-foot drop. It was just a big boulder. You went off the top of this boulder back to the run. Like, literally just dropped off. So there was nowhere to stop. I'm on the side of this little
And you're still
cliff.
moving at this point.
I'm still moving.
Okay, so you just split-second decision, right?
I pop over the hill, and I'm like
no idea what to do, yeah.
And so I go off of it, and I was like, I can make it. So I ski off of it, and I land, but my sit ski has a shock in it, under me, and I totally compressed the shock.
Bottomed out, yeah.
Just bam, and then so I kind of bounced, and when I landed in the middle of the run, and it's like I was on the high side of the hill, and on the other side of the run is the downside of the mountain.
Shit.
And so I just bounced, and I bounced clear off the other side, the downhill side of the run. The bad side. And so it was probably, I was in the air, I was probably 5-6 foot off the ground, and I came down, and there was a boulder sticking out, and it didn't have snow over it yet. It was opening weekend, so I came down, landed right on my hip, and then I continued to ping pong down through the trees
Jesus Christ.
for another 10 feet, and so I'm way down the mountain, and the trail's way up there, and so I get out of my ski, and I get ski patrol down there, and they just drag me back up the hill onto the run, and then they get my ski up there, and I was going to get back in my ski, and I was going to keep skiing, and I was sitting on the edge of the run with my legs out in front of me, and my leg at this point just was kind of vibrating. It wasn't like a violent spasm or anything. It was just kind of vibrating, and I was like, oh man, it's kind of weird, and as I'm sitting there with my legs out in front of me, my right foot is pointing up, and it just suddenly just falls. It just completely rotates over. I was like, man, I don't know. I don't think that's right,
Yeah, that's new.
I've never seen it act like that. And so I kind of I put my hand under my right thigh, and I went to pick it up, and the leg was kind of floppy. I was like, oh.
Makes me want to vomit.
That's not good. So we got the toboggan ride down, and went and got a new rod, some new hardware there, and good to go. In a couple
you were at the hospital
weeks.
there, like you broke your femur. You're like, oh no shit.
Yeah, I told him it was broke on the way out. At that point I knew, and so we went.
But no pain.
No pain. It was the easiest thing ever.
Easiest thing ever. It was like breaking your neck.
Yeah.
Except that sucked.
That
does kind of hurt.
Yeah, femur's a little less important. So.
Well, do you have a lot of pain right now?
No, very little. I mean, it's more like an ache. It's just like long days and stuff. You get achy.
I do.
Really,
my
no
neck
pain.
does hurt, and my hands hurt.
Yeah.
I got nerve pain in my hands real bad. That's the.
I get carpal freaking tunnel.
Oh,
if
really?
I start doing much with my hands more than like every day pushing my chair and stuff, like working on these houses. I was doing all the electrical, so turning screwdriver for outlets and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it would take me 2 hours every morning stretching and stretching my hands. You know, my hands go numb just like, and it just makes your whole arm ache. It's terrible.
Yeah, I get the nerve pain, but I don't take any nerve medicine anymore.
Yeah.
I don't take any pain medicine because I don't want to be a junkie.
Yeah.
And because it can happen pretty easily.
It can, yeah.
And that's something that I try my hardest not to take pain medicine if I can.
Yeah, I quit. I threw all that shit out. Like 2 weeks in, they kept giving me all this pain medicine.
They had me all doped up for months.
I'm like, I don't want it. You know, I had my shit schedule all messed up.
Exactly.
And I was like, listen, you know, they're trying to put me on laxatives too and all this. And I was like, I was never on any of this before and I never had trouble. So let's try that route. And that fixed everything, you know, so.
Yeah. But, yeah. So, okay, now you built yourself a home in Colorado as well.
We bought a place
Okay, so you bought a place.
We're working on building a place.
Yeah. So do you have a piece of property or anything yet?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
We bought a piece of property. We got 35 acres of totally untouched. It's all beautiful trees. It's about 20 minutes from where I'm at now.
Any foothills on it or anything?
It's very gentle sloping from top to bottom, north to south. It's on the side of the mountain.
Okay.
It's about halfway up the mountain.
That's great.
7,000 feet in elevation. And it is just...
You going to build a compound and start a cult?
That's what I'm planning.
I would think so. I would.
No.
I'll follow you.
No,
I think I should be in charge. I'll be in charge, okay?
Oh, I don't know. That's scary. That's scary.
I'll be in charge. It's no problem. Don't worry.
No, we're actually just a big ass shop.
That's good. You're gonna build a big pole barn and then have a house in it?
So first off, we're building. It's gonna be a steel structure, all I-beam construction. You know, I had to incorporate.
Does that give you flashbacks, or what's going on there?
I no flashbacks. I love ironworking. I always tell people, and this is no joke. You know, if I started walking today, I'd start ironworking tomorrow.
That's good.
Because I loved my job, and man, I freaking get excited when I see cranes and iron, and like when I start thinking about it, I get excited.
Does it give you a boner?
Well, I don't know.
So you're okay. It's like me. Is your brain still connected to your dick?
I don't have real good luck with it, but I mean, I can make it work.
But a little bit of physical encouragement probably helps. Yeah, that's what it takes.
Vibration works good.
Yeah. There you go. So I mean, that's a question people want to know too. I mean,
yes,
this isn't a glamorous way to live, but hey, shit still fucking works.
Hey, that freaking Trimix will make it work every time.
Oh, Trimix, tell me about that.
Oh my, that injection.
The injection. Okay, I haven't got it yet.
Oh, be careful with that shit.
They give you a boner for a year?
Very fine line between not enough and too much. You'll be popping Sudafed trying to get her to go down. Yeah. Icing in like,
I better go to the hospital now.
It's been 5 hours.
They're big guy. You're done.
Watching this.
Okay, well, and that's something that I like. Okay, there's pills. There is an injection, and then there's like a permanent implant. And
the pump.
Not interested in the permanent implant, probably.
Me neither. Yeah.
But hey,
man, I have found though that if you just for me, you have to almost get in a schedule for a little bit.
Okay.
Like a couple weeks and start. The more you stimulate it, the better it works.
The better it works, and then the more it'll cooperate with what you're trying to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like if I had an orgasm in 2 years, this ain't gonna fucking work right.
Right.
It's not. You gotta practice with the guy.
Gotta practice.
It's
like hitting puberty.
I got applications open for practicing.
I'm out.
Yeah. Well, you're not my type. Yeah, you're not my type. So, anyway, so you got a place out there in Colorado. What do you guys do from? You got bars. Obviously you do sports and you go traveling, but you go to bars and shit. Do you?
Grand Junction has a lot of really nice nightlife. We've made some wonderful friends. Cassie, my fiance, she works at a tap room. They make their own hard cider.
Oh, that's great.
And so
I love hard cider.
Me too. I can't drink beer.
I don't drink beer.
I love hard cider.
I don't like it.
That's my go-to drink. So, we get a lot of benefits with that. A lot of free cider. Shout out to the Talbots. But
hey, Talbots, I'll have to check you out when I come to Grand Junction.
Absolutely. They're amazing cider.
If you guys want to sponsor a podcast, CrippleCast, hey. Anyway.
So we hang out there a lot and some good restaurants, but the majority of our time is spent in the mountains.
Good.
Out running around. We got a camper, and we love to.
Does it have is it just a normal camper?
No, it's an off-road. I pull it behind my Tacoma. Man, you can pull it down about any trail you can drive down.
And how do you get in it? Like, do you get it like normal?
So literally, the only thing that is inside is a queen size bed. Like you open the door on
like,
either
is it like
side.
a fold down back door?
No,
Or
it's two
open?
side doors,
Okay.
and they call them square drop campers. It's kind of like the same setup as a teardrop.
Okay, I'm with you.
So everything is mounted exterior. So it's got a fold out kitchen that's mounted exterior.
That's neat.
It's got a hot water heater and shower that's exterior. Pretty much all the storage is exterior. It's got a slide out fridge. Like everything is outside, and the only thing I have to do is open the door and climb in to go to bed.
Oh, that's cool.
And
so you don't run.
it's
Would you
sweet.
put your chair in there too?
To
keep it out of the weather at nighttime.
I can, but I usually just take my chair pad out and throw it in there and fold the back down, and if it gets
Nobody's
rained
gonna
on, it is what it is.
Probably.
I'm in the middle of BFE, and no one's going to steal my chair. I'll shoot them if they do.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll hear them.
Yeah,
Maybe a bear.
Well,
the bear might try to borrow my chair.
that'd be cool. Like you use cruise outside, see a bear just cruising around. One of them's got a broken leg. Yeah. It's just like, I need this. I need this, bro. Like, go have this. Wilderness friend.
Make it about 10 feet, hit a rock, and flip over forwards.
Then it just destroys the chair, tears it apart. And it's like, it looks at you and it smiles.
Yeah.
Fucking bears.
Sorry.
Bears are assholes. You seen any bears out on the trail?
I actually, just before I went to South Africa, like 2 days before I went to South Africa, I was up on the mountain fly fishing, and like 50 yards across this lake, probably, this huge brown bear comes out of the woods, comes down along the lake shore, and just starts eating these fish along the bank. Starts working around the bank. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. And then it gets like over here, and it starts to come down the bank towards me, and I'm like, I can't move that quick. I start throwing shit in the truck, and finally it just turned around and it went back the other direction.
It's a black bear?
It was a brown bear, but it's kind of like a black. They're not super aggressive. They're a little more aggressive than a black bear.
Not a grizzly, though.
Not a grizzly, no.
The brown bears are more aggressive than black bears. Most of the time you can get rid of black bears pretty easy.
Black bears are they're not even really aggressive.
They're
They're just nosy.
Yeah, they're like a cat.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like a cat. They just kind of, what's going on over here?
Oh, yeah.
What's going on over here? I'm going to, okay. Yeah. And then I'm going to run off whenever somebody yells at me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or try to be your friend. They're pretty friendly.
Did you ever shake their hand?
I've never shaken one's hand. I try to play the good guy role, and
here's some chicken.
Not mess with the wildlife, but I think you could. I've been pretty close to them.
I'm not interested in finding out the hard way, so.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. So, all right, so you're in Colorado, so you camp a lot, you see wildlife. I was trying to see anything else that's, you came back to Petersburg because you got a little business you're running with your brother.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you don't have to just divulge any of that yet if you don't want to, but you're here setting up something, and that's pretty cool. So yeah, you got anything else going on?
Well, no, other than just trying to retire. I had to come out of retirement for the
neck, bro.
I got busier when I broke my back.
Me too, dude.
Frick.
Not for the first few months, but yeah, dude, I'm fucking busy.
I can't get away.
Everybody wants something from you.
Always, it's like, oh, come do this camper.
Yeah, and I'm like,
and I love it. I'm not complaining one bit because I love
this
what
fucking
I've got
podcast.
Going. Yeah, exactly. Like, man,
Golly.
guy keeps freaking bugging me.
I know, I was bugging you for a while. Like,
no, I told you I was going to come. I told you I was coming.
Well, I had this hole in the schedule. I was like, all right, I need help.
No, it works. We're kind of getting to a good point. We're finally, actually, they're starting drywall this weekend.
Oh, good. So
it's like
the hard part's over.
Yeah, the hard part's over. The painful part's done.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of finishing up a few loose ends right now for the drywall. Wait for that, and then finish them up and get home. I haven't been home for 2 and a half months. So why did you go South Africa? What was the big deal about that? Why South Africa? Well, I'm a bow hunter and shoot a lot of archery, and I've made some great connections out in western Colorado. Red Rock Archery.
Oh wow!
Some
You been to
incredible
Red Rocks
people.
before then, huh?
I've never actually been to Red Rocks.
I'd love to go see a concert.
I know, me too. We were gonna go see Jelly Roll there.
That'd be cool.
And it didn't work out. But no, this place is in Grand Junction. Two brothers, and amazing outdoorsmen, and just wonderful people. And they took us in, me and Cassie, kind of under their wing, and we were shooting there for a couple months, all winter. And they said, hey, we got a guy that has a heck of a deal in South Africa for a hunting trip.
Were you worried about being murdered?
No, I would never.
People were worried about people were there killing white people there, apparently.
When I was there,
that's what the news said.
Let me tell you, the news is a liar, because maybe people are getting killed, but we got a lot of people killing white people here.
Yeah, that's true.
I will tell you this, man. It was the neatest experience being in South Africa. Every single person I met, we went to a couple little towns, which we were 2 hours outside of Johannesburg, kind of north of Johannesburg. And I will tell you, everywhere we went, everyone I met, the nicest people.
That's what I heard.
I mean, the airport, they wanted to serve you. Everyone that worked there, oh, let me get your bag. Let me help you. Like, let me push you, in my chair.
How is it for accessibility? Like, is it,
dude,
like here?
It's maybe not as, actually set up, but there's so many people there and they want to serve you. They make it work. Yeah. Like, where I went hunting at, their blinds were elevated box blinds that they had built. So they're 8 foot off the ground, and they just have a ladder. Well, he's like, we're going to get you in the blind, no problem.
Get your fork truck?
No. He had his skinners and trackers every day. They would just pack me up the ladder. They would just grab me. They would grab me by my legs and arms, and they would just carry me up the ladder, put my chair in there, set me in my chair. I mean, they took the blind halfway apart so that I could actually shoot because the window was too high.
Oh, that's wild.
I taking boards off, and
that's cool.
Man, I had the time of my life. I mean, there was one point they literally multiple times actually, they would pick me up in my chair, pick my chair and all up, and set me in the bed of the Toyota Land Cruiser so that we could go hunt for animals, from the truck, or drive around and look for stuff or whatever. Just everything. If there was an issue, they just made it work.
That's awesome.
It was so cool. I mean, everyone. It was it wasn't even a burden. Here, people make things.
People kind of oh, okay,
okay, I have to help. But there, it was no questions asked. What do you need? What can I do to make it easier for you?
Do you think there's a lot of handicapped people there, or did you see any others?
No, I think it's just a service. I think it's a country that's ran by service, and I think they just have. I think they're just good-hearted people that want to help the clients.
Shout out to South Africa.
Yes, it was an incredible experience. I mean,
that's awesome.
The coolest trip I've ever been on. I mean, just the people and the place and the food was incredible, and I have no complaints about South Africa. Very cool place.
Fantastic. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a wonderful time.
That's great. So okay, so we'll go ahead and get close to wrapping up here. But I want to. Okay, you've been like this for how long? About 5 years?
2018, June 13, 2018. So, yeah.
So about 5 years-ish. If you could tell, anybody, if you had advice to anybody that's in your situation, what would it be? Well, I ask everybody this.
Well, I guess my answer would be a little lengthy. I think I would tell people,
Say as much as you want.
I think it's everyone struggles, and the next person's problem is bigger than yours, always. So I think the biggest thing is just you got to keep a good mindset and stay busy. And there's people out there that'll help you. There's equipment that you can get to help you. There's programs.
There are resources.
Your life's not over. It's just beginning. That's
Absolutely.
what I like to say.
Unless you're old.
Well,
unless you're old and ready to do that, that's not the same.
But not the same. But if you're young or middle-aged, don't give up. It's not that big of a deal just because you can't use your legs. It's not a big deal. There's, it's 2023. There's so much
It's a good time to be a cripple,
It's
man.
a good time.
Is.
It's just getting better.
It is. And okay, so I'm going to do this real quick. Mick told me a little bit ago that I need to appeal straight to Elon because I've already went through the process. I've been through the video process. I've applied. They sent me an email saying thank you. So Mick said, well, you need to put it on Twitter and apply. What do you say? Talk to him directly.
Yeah, bring
So
it
this
up.
is what I'm going to do. Elon, Adam Houchins here at CrippleCast. I need you to change my life. I need to be in that first group of people. I want you to change my life. All right, now that I've done that,
There you go.
yeah, I'm going to send that to him on Twitter. Elon, change my life. Give me my life back. I got a pretty good life, all things considered.
Yes.
But I wouldn't mind being able to control a fucking computer with my brain. That'd be sick.
It'd be sick.
Then I don't have to use these. I'm all thumbs these days, So,
Or even if you can just make your thumbs work.
I'd settle for my dick.
Or that. That would work too. I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, actually, just thumbs. Thumbs would be great. I could do the tendon transfers, but then they're gonna fuck up my tattoos and shit, and not interested.
No, I understand.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to get some tattoos. I was gonna get my cat's heads tattooed above my knees.
Yeah.
And I shit you not, and there's nothing to do with her as an artist. She's fantastic. That's why I wanted her to do this. She has like a photorealism. And I don't remember her name now. It doesn't matter. But she's from Evansville. She does great stuff. But she calls me the morning of. She says, "Hey, I fucked up." And I said, "What?" I said, and she said, "My tattoo shop's on the second floor." Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, that didn't occur to you at first? That I'm in a fucking wheelchair?
Yeah.
Okay, so I already paid money and paid the deposit and shit. I mean, it's not her fault. She didn't think about it. She had a lot of shit going on. But, point is, I do not have 2 cat tattoos above my knees.
Well, why didn't she just set
Well,
up a
you
time
can't.
somewhere else?
There's rules. There's laws against it now. Like, you can't. Well, you lose your license for tattooing outside of a shop, and you have to go get a certain, like, I don't know if it's like permission from the city or state or whatever that you can tattoo in another shop or something like that. Like if you go to a festival and tattoo, I think they have to have like licensing and stuff for tattooing out of the shop because it's a medical procedure. So I understand, but I was like, well, the only reason not the only reason I wanted to go with her, but like the main reason I wanted to go with her was because she had done a cat portrait before, and I was like, okay, that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
I'd like to support a women-owned business, and I want my cats tattooed above my knees. Less about the women's business and more about the tattoos above my
Nah,
knees.
you like your cat. That's all.
She's hot. Yeah, she's hot. I mean, no, don't get me wrong. I mean, she listens to it. You're a fucking fox, but whatever. That's not the reason I went with her. That you know of. I was just trying. I was
trying to buy her out.
Hey,
You were buying her out.
Hey, man, I was playing the long con.
I understand.
You gotta let these girls know that I'm a nice guy, but my shit's all fucked up. So, if you got low standards, like, what's up? So, anyway.
Yeah. It's a good time, and it's not the end of the world, and
No.
And it's just, you got to keep a positive mindset and keep yourself busy, find something you're passionate about, and just keep working at it.
Absolutely. And, so I'm going to do CrippleCast here, and I'm going to have you back again, especially when if all goes according to plan, I'll have the cool bus coming.
Absolutely.
And we'll get you on that school bus next time I come out to Colorado, and then...
We'll record it on the top of a mountain or something.
Yeah, hell, somewhere cooler than right here.
Yeah.
I mean, Petersburg's pretty fucking cool, though.
In what book?
Oh, one of those books at the courthouse. That's what they say anyway. No, Petersburg's awesome, man. I know you got to get out of here, but like, to be quite honest, they turned this place into a handicap utopia.
Yeah, I've seen downtown.
Yeah, they they didn't give a shit when you were going through it. They when I came home, they started putting ramps everywhere, sidewalks in places. They said, "Fuck Collin, Adam's more important."
I just never complained like
No,
that.
I didn't. Well, that's true. I accused them.
I'm just kidding with
No, that's
you.
true. I accused a lot of people of hating the handicap. Like,
Yeah.
I rolled up to this place and I was like, "Oh, the tech center's great. Too bad Elmer Bookta hates the handicap." That's a joke. He doesn't hate the handicap.
No.
But
Yeah.
but Elmer booked a technology center. They didn't have automatic doors. And it's not a big deal because I can actually still get in here no matter what. I can get in here myself. But it's and they're all wired up for doors. They have motors inside of the doors already. The electricians just didn't put the faceplate in.
Oh yeah,
that's all it is. It's like, you know how it is. You get to the end of a job and they're like, oh, we're gonna get the fuck out of here. So the electricians, they're the last ones there, and they're or the laborers cleaning shit up, and they're like, you know what, fuck it, there's no handicapped people here. Yeah, fuck those guys. Piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, but now they're Mick was here today. He was like, why haven't we got your doors open yet? And I was like, they don't like me.
Yeah.
Like, everybody hates me here. So I talk a bunch of shit.
It works.
It does work if you do it correctly.
People don't like bad publicity.
No, they don't. Nobody likes to be accused of hating the handicap.
Oh yeah.
That's all right. And it's not like I'm kidding mostly.
Oh, I know.
But some people do hate the handicap. Like, I didn't like the handicap before I was like hurt handicap.
Well,
but I was like, ew, gross.
Yeah.
Like, I'd see somebody like me, I'm like, ugh.
See, it was bad karma.
It was bad karma. No,
bad karma.
Because I've said this on the podcast before, and I'm glad I'm bringing it up with you. I've referenced you in not every podcast. I'd say damn near though.
All right.
And it's in this light. When I heard you got hurt, I told my buddies that I was working with. I was on a roof there at Toyota too, and they everybody standing down. Somebody died, and then it was like, oh, he's not dead. Go back to work. Yeah. And he's not dead. Go back to work. And I was like, no, fuck that.
Deal.
So we ended up going home anyway. But thanks for that. I had afternoon off.
Half a day.
Yeah, half day off. But we sat there and we discussed, like, when we found out, like, oh, he's not dead. He's just paralyzed from the neck down. And I said, fuck that. I said, if that happens to me, somebody just fucking kill me. And I said that day. Lo and behold, 3 years later, here I am.
Yeah.
But you might have said, you're right. Bad karma could have been. I said all kinds of stupid shit, and it was mostly joking around. But I think I was serious about that. I was serious at the time about that.
Serious.
At the time, I was serious as a freaking heart attack. I was like, I can't live like that. I wasn't strong enough then.
Yeah.
That was 5 years ago. I'm not saying I'm any stronger. Well, I have to be stronger than I was then.
You're stronger now.
Because I didn't think I could do it, but I did it.
You're thriving, and I'm super proud of you and everything that you've accomplished and you're still accomplishing, and the things that you're growing. And, I do remember, I don't know all the details of your story early on, but I know a lot of it. I know there was a lot of hard times there. I know when I came to see you in the hospital, I know your mom was looking for a saving grace for you, and I just remember, I never really went through that. That whole
Well, I thought I was going to die
thing.
a couple times.
Yeah.
And so I think you saw me before my second surgery where they found I got an infection after that.
Oh, okay.
And so it was in my spinal column.
Yeah.
Leading up into my brain. They're like, oh, yeah, you broke your neck worse, and now you got an infection. And I was like,
yeah.
Okay. They're like, well, if we don't treat this now, before the surgery, you're going to die.
Yeah.
Like, oh. Well, that's all?
That's it.
Yeah, so, and then I didn't. So, shout out Dr. Gable. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
But
I'll
reach out to him.
I remember seeing you then and coming to see you in the hospital, and I know, I knew you had a good face on then, but I knew it wasn't.
Oh,
good.
it was just a facade. I was fucking terrified.
Yeah.
I mean, who wouldn't be? So, like, I was terrified. I didn't know what was going to happen. I thought and knew right then that I was losing everything.
Yeah.
But
you didn't.
I didn't lose everything.
You didn't lose everything.
No, I thought I did.
You thought you did.
I thought I did.
But you probably... How much have you gained? How much have you found the little things that you never put 2 seconds
you take for granted, you don't think about.
Now you look at it and you're like, man, this is huge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I always say that if you can get through the mental part of a major disability like this, you become a better person.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely a better person than I was. Yeah. Like, I wasn't a complete dirtbag or anything, but I wasn't like...
It helps you find yourself.
Yeah.
And it helps you realize the little things in life, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely right. Absolutely right. So, I wouldn't have met you other than this, even though you're from my hometown.
Yeah. I
would not have met you. You were just a name to me and a story. And I'm glad that through this you've been here for me to help me out, talk to me, and advice and stuff like that. I mean, it's been invaluable. You and Ben Trockman are the two guys that in the area that I could turn to, and if I had an issue that I didn't know what to do about something. So seeing you continuing to battle and do all your sports and stuff is an inspiration to me and everybody else that I see. So keep that shit going.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you ain't done that shit.
That's my life.
So let's go ahead and shout out your Instagram. How would people get a hold of you? Or unless you don't want people to get a hold of you.
No, mostly just me personally, Collin Sallee.
Collin Sallee.
I have Sallee Visuals that I do some stuff.
Is that a website?
Instagram. Sallee Visuals.
Sallee Visuals.
And I also have the Wandering Wheelchair.
The Wandering Wheelchair. Now that's on Instagram.
Yes, sir, and Facebook.
Both of them are on so the Wandering Wheelchair. I'll put a link in there if you guys want to follow Collin on his journey. He does all kinds of wild shit. So and everything is going to continue with him. He's not done.
I never post on there, but I try.
Well, that's okay. I mean, and you might get a wild hair.
If I would just give the information to my fiance, she'd keep up.
Well, I got an assistant coming.
Yeah,
he's gonna do a lot of my online stuff for me. So
I could
you need to hire a slave.
I could have an epic page if somebody would just keep up with it all, but
right.
I don't when I'm doing something. I've always been this way. Like when I'm doing something or a trip or whatever, I'm like so focused on that I never take the time to take pictures. I do cool shit, but I never have pictures unless Cassie takes them for me because
I need somebody like that's why I hired him. I mean, he's a kid, but I need somebody to follow me around and just video and then edit it. I don't need fancy editing.
Right.
I just need somebody to capture me talking shit.
I hate videos. I don't think I look good in videos. And
because you're fat.
I know I'm fat. I'm ugly, and my voice sounds bad in audio. So
okay, well I'll doctor it up.
Yeah,
I was wondering when you were going to change that fucking
thing. Yeah, but no, I like stills. I think I look good in stills, and I'm fine. Not that I look. I'm not being self-centered, but yeah, I look a little bit better. But
don't worry, I'll blur out your body.
Yeah, just the whole thing, just a bloated face.
Just a bloated face. Yeah.
But no, I'd be good with it if somebody would just do it.
Right. That's what I'm trying.
I would never look at it.
Well, and I would have a problem not looking at the comments.
Yeah.
That's kind of my thing. Is like
I just don't care.
Well, I just look for hot chicks in the comments. Like, hey. Oh, maybe she got low standards. Maybe she's got low standards. Wants to take care of somebody the rest of her life.
Yeah.
You know? I'm just kidding. Like, I'm not like helpless. I got slaves.
Yes.
So
yeah,
I got people to take care of you. You can have slaves too, but you don't.
I don't. No,
But you don't. You could convince them that you needed it, but you really don't.
At this point in my life, I have everything I need.
Right.
But
right.
I won't say that I won't ever. But I'm young and hard-headed.
Right. And I've got caregivers because I'm a little more fucked up than you.
Yeah.
So I have full-time caregiving. But like today, I don't need somebody right here in my face.
Right.
But tomorrow, I could get a UTI and I'm in the bed for 3 days, and I need somebody.
Right.
And that's kind of what it's like being a younger guy. Like, I in this situation, it's kind of not ideal. It's not ideal. It's hard to have women over. It's hard to explain, hey, I got this shit going on. I kind of was a normal dude before. Like, I'm not really normal before.
Yeah, none of us are normal.
But it's like, it's just something you got to explain. Nurses are nice. People in healthcare, they're nice people to talk to and stuff like that. But, ain't found the gal yet, so you want to take care of somebody, go on the road.
Yeah.
I need some.
You're going to find somebody.
We'll see.
You're going to find someone.
I can always turn gay.
Yeah, there's
then it would open up a lot more doors.
Yeah, it would.
I would be a king in prison. Like,
oh,
I got a surprise hole.
Yes, you do. I don't know if they'd want to use it.
Well, that's one of my stand-up jokes, and people, that's a little rough. Sorry for people. Sorry, guys. But like, I'd be a king in prison.
Yeah.
I'd be like, put it in my surprise hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like perfect height already.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Well, for a tall guy. So I don't know. I'm just saying, I got options.
Yeah, you're gonna find you a good person. Like, you're still on the journey. It's all part of the journey.
Once I'm driving a black school bus everywhere.
Oh, you're gonna be Pimp Daddy.
Oh yeah. Like, hey, I know this living room with all this podcast stuff looks cool, but
you're gonna have a whole school bus load of women.
I hope.
Want to take care of you.
Oh, that'd be awesome. The dreams.
That's it, yeah.
Okay, well, we'll go ahead and wrap this up, Collin. I'm gonna. Anything else you want to say to the good people at CrippleCast Nation?
No, I just thank you for having me on, and
Hey, I thank you,
glad
man.
to be here.
This was a awesome podcast. I've been waiting for this one since the start, and because people around here want to hear this too, hear about you and stuff like that. I get, like I said, I get asked all the time, when are you gonna have that cripple Collin on? Well, they don't say that because they are nicer than me, but I said, eventually. And so I'm glad you're here. Thank you for your time. That's all. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
So, all right, everybody, CrippleCast Nation, thank you very much for joining us tonight. This should be out at 6 o'clock on Saturday. And follow Collin on social media. Got a event coming up at the Buffalo Trace Festival here next month in October. So, CrippleCraft is going to be selling all my garbage. So, check it out. Thanks, guys.